It's time. It's time for pie. Is anybody hungry? I have a cat, but you're gonna have to try to avoid judging my floor situation. It's a budgie. It's a budgie baby. Hi. Hello. Welcome. You lost a peely taking out the trash, so you just finished reshaping your right hand and will be doing an emerald skittle with rainbow and gold. That sounds very tasty and festive and seasonally appropriate. And welcome, Kat and Leo. The floor situation over there, originally that laundry bag was like puffed up such that cats could get inside it. But someone decided it was better to lie on top of it. And now I'm not allowed to move it because it's become Budgie's favorite sleeping spot in the studio. And every day lately I come in the afternoon and she's sleeping on this fucking laundry bag. So yeah, there's just assorted flotsam on my studio floor that I'm not allowed to move. Hey, Yaneli. Hi, Heather. And hello, Bow and Arrows. Welcome, welcome. Happy almost Pi Day. Yes. Since I don't stream on actual Pi Day this year, I'm going to be doing Pi Day a little early. I will be streaming on actual St. Patrick's Day though. So we got Mario Day and we got St. Patrick's Day on the actual day, which is very exciting. Rainbow Rack Nails, hello, welcome. And welcome Ghislaine and welcome Lori. Yes, she is being a perfect sleep circle. You have a cat bed you think Budgie would like then? Listen, Budgie will sleep on anything that is not a cat bed. If you get her a cat bed that is identical to the thing that she prefers to sleep on, she won't sleep on it. I don't know what her deal is. Every once in a while, she will go through a phase where she will briefly start sleeping on one of the actual cat beds, and that will last maybe a week. And then she's off to something else. But Budgie very much has like this thing where she'll sleep in the exact same spot every single day for anywhere from a week to a month. And then she will never sleep in that spot again. Or like not for ages and ages. She goes through and she has her favored spot. And then she abandons it. It's very, very strange. She's a little weirdo. Hi, Najwa. Welcome. Hey, Indecrypted. Welcome to you as well. So we're going to be doing some pie nails. And, which means a lot of circles. So Budgie can be my model for that. First things first, I need to figure out a base color. So I have a plan. Every nail is going to be a different kind of pie. And we're also going to have some of the digits of pi. I mean, it's physically impossible to have all of them. Unless you somehow have a way to have infinite nails. Which I would then need an infinitely long stream to paint. But base color, I picked a bunch of my untrieds / ones that maybe have been involved in a mani but haven't really starred in a mani yet. Yeah, not with that attitude. Maple just needed the dough for pie crust. I'm gonna be making an actual pie this weekend. An in real life pie, and I'm very excited to have pie. But I need to get blueberries first. I use frozen wild blueberries because I'm a picky bitch when it comes to blueberries. Yeah, so any of these, so it's glitter cyst. This is the magnetic that we used for as the base for the Olympics mani, but it got completely weirdly changed by the base that I had underneath it. So I feel like it needs another chance to be appreciated. Roy Lalise, this is the Ass of a Killer, Bella. This one is Morning Mist from Finding Feathers lacquer. Bluebird, The Winter of My Discontent. Another glitter cyst, this little light of mine. And this one just arrived today. Brittany sent me this from BCB. It's a 2021 Advent polish. She had I saw it. I saw a post with someone wearing it, and I was like, "What is that polish, and why don't I own it?" And and she happened to have one kicking around, so she sent me that, which was very sweet of her. But yeah, all the rest of these are ones that I purchased. So what do we think? I have one vote for the Bluebird. I think any of them will work nicely for a backdrop to pie. So put your votes in the chat. I'm gonna kill my mic for a second so I can blow my nose. The trick is remembering to turn the mic back on. I gotta vote for the Finding Feathers. That's 2 for Finding Feathers. If you have an opinion, you must speak up. Do 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 do, etc. All right. I think it's gonna have to be the Finding Feathers. All right, y'all. It's too late now, Yaneli. You were voting for the background polish, the base for my pies. It's just the color that's going to be behind the pie, so it's okay. There were no bad answers. There were no bad choices. Y'all think you can lurk and still get a vote? I do not think so. Lurkers being disenfranchised in real time on live stream. Terrible. My democracy, no. Yep. Yeah, this is part of the quad that Ashley made me buy. And by made me, I mean she acquiesced to my request to skittle them, whereupon I went, okay, yeah, I need those. And said happy birthday to me from me. And yeah, it's a real cute quad. But it is 100% Ashley's fault. That would be Ashley Polished Mess, if anyone is not sure who I'm talking about. She swatches for finding feathers. You were in the shitter. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for not taking me with you. Although, I gotta be honest, if I was watching you live stream and I needed to poop, I would 100% bring you with me. And I would probably tell you live that I was doing so. Because I am a classy bitch. Ack, that was far too much polish. Oh, so you did bring me with you, but you just didn't want to vote while pooping? Is that... You can't listen and poop at the same time? Oh, it's a good thing that we're not eligible for monetization here, because I feel like this is too much talk of shit and pooping. Hey, let's talk about something cuter. I have been playing Pokopia because my husband, who apparently loves me very much, talked to his daughter. I was like actively avoiding knowing too much about the game because I don't have a Switch 2, and like he has a Switch 2. But it's just it would have been annoying to deal with, and like, you know, it's not like I don't have other games. So I was just you know, avoiding knowing too much about it or like getting too excited about it. But then he went and bought me a Switch 2 and Pokopia, which is very sweet of him. The other hand was busy. Listen, I don't want to think about what people are doing that doesn't let them type, okay? Gotta concentrate on the push. Yeah. Hey, welcome, Linry. Yaneli is regaling us with tales of pooping. Yeah, well, it just came out, right? And so all of a sudden, social media is just swarming with Pokopia stuff. The sales have been through the roof. It's pretty wild. The amount of stuff I've seen about it, even when I was trying not to. But shout out Brian, we love to see it. Yeah, that's not what Ashley said. Ashley said something along the lines of, I demand an apology for him not buying me, meaning Ashley, her own Switch 2 and copy of Pokopia. Don't listen to them, I never poop. Of course not. Girls don't poop. We're both bow and arrows. It both just came out. Apparently, of Yaneli. Hey, Danny, welcome. Yeah. You caved as well. The only Pokemon game I had ever played previous to this was Pokemon Go. Because all the earlier games kind of came out, you know, obviously when I was well into adulthood, and also I never had any consoles to play them on until I had the Switch. And so the original Switch. So yeah, it just wasn't a thing for me. I was peripherally aware of Pokemon and, you know, familiar with sort of the most well-known ones, I guess. Like I knew who Pikachu was, right? But yeah, until Pokemon Go came out, I didn't really have any relationship with Pokemon at all. And then I played that like crazy for several years. And yeah, now Poopcopia. Oh my god, my sinuses are being so annoying. We've had just the most insane weather thing happening over the last few days. It was 29 degrees Celsius yesterday, which is like, I don't even, I posted it earlier in my stories, like 80 degrees or something, like 84 degrees. I think it's like 84 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday. And today we had snow. Like, I went to bed last night with the fan on, the blankets off, sweating in my bed. And then this morning I woke up and it started snowing. And then this afternoon all the snow melted. So it's been a wild 24 hours weather-wise. It's okay. It's okay. Nothing is going on with poop. Everything is fine. Your car is yellow from pollen. Yeah. You were outside walking the dog when the rain turned into snow today. That sounds awful. You were driving I-95 when the blizzard hit. Yeah, it's been so weird. I think we're ready for our second coat here. Like, I'm used to big swings at this time of year, but that's a lot. that's a lot. Like, going from like room temperature to freezing in 24 hours, okay. But going from sweltering to literal freezing in 24 hours is a bit fucking much, thank you. I don't think that's necessary. Like, we were out gardening yesterday. Anyway. So I've only played, like, I guess around 4 hours of Pokopia so far. 4, maybe 5 hours. I played like 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours last night. And then a couple of hours this morning. Because I'm trying so hard to, like, not let myself just get completely swept away to the point where nothing is getting done. I do need to still function, and I have had, like, I've got swatching to do, and I've got editing to do, and I've got stuff for community, like for our HOA that I'm working on, and I have my volunteering stuff, and like, and somehow I also still have to, like, keep my own shit together and, cook and do chores and whatever else. And the pets, like all the cats, think that they still need attention, even though they're not Pokemon. They're better than Pokemon. I'm just joking. But, yeah. So I'm trying to be good and just sort of keep an eye on the time and actually pay attention to that. But, like, yesterday I set an alarm for myself. I was like, I simply cannot just, like, start playing this and have it be suddenly midnight and I haven't cooked dinner. So, I was like that with Skyrim when I first started playing it years ago. It's so easy for me to fall back into that kind of thing with this sort of immersive game. Oh yeah, for sure everyone immediately forgets how to drive when the weather is dumb like this. Yeah, Kat, you had your toes out yesterday. Nelly, you had a day of 70 and this weekend you're getting a snowstorm? Yeah. But I feel like 70 to a snowstorm is less weird. Like, literally 84 to a snowstorm is extra. You just set up your first garden and then bam, cold snap. Yeah. March be like that, though. Yes, check your potatoes. Everyone who's cooking, please check your potatoes. If you have a task occurring at the moment, please check your potatoes or whatever it is you need to check. Drink your water, oil your cuticles, etc. What is going into your green Skittle, Cat? I must know. What polishes are you using? You haven't finished Skyrim? There's no such thing as finishing Skyrim. You simply can't. It can't be done. There's no finishing it. I first started playing Skyrim back when it was brand new. Played it pretty obsessively for a good long time, and then had to basically quit cold turkey so that I could function as a human being. And then, yeah, and I started over with a whole new character recently when I got Skyrim for the Switch. Yeah, exactly. No one finishes Skyrim. You just keep starting over. Well, and like there's a bunch of things that you can't do. Like once you've gone down a certain path, it closes off a bunch of other things for you, right? So if you actually want to be a completionist and do every single mission, you do have to start from the beginning a bunch of times to be able to do that. Okay, this time I'll be a wizard, become sneaky archer. Last time I played Skyrim, I was like a thief and an assassin. This time I'm playing shockingly honestly. But I am still playing as a Khajiit, and I always, always, always am a magic user because I don't like to get into battle and be stressed out. I like to do stuff with a little bit of a distance, and I like to conjure some people to fight on my behalf. So yeah, that's like always my thing. I always end up playing the same type of character, at least in terms of skills. You're doing another BG3 run with two friends going in blind. The two friends are going in blind, like they've never played before. You leveled up too much with side quests in Skyrim. Now your character can't do the normal quests because their difficulty level went so high. Yeah, I frequently make that mistake. I get sidetracked very easily with the side quests. This time I've been trying to balance doing side quests with doing the main quest line, but I also don't like to do too much of the main quest line too quickly. They haven't played and have no spoilers somehow. Yeah, I haven't played BG3 either, but I played the original Baldur's Gate way back when in, what was that? The late 90s? No. Yeah, it would have been the 90s, right? Mid 90s, late 90s, something like that when it was fresh and new and on like a series of like 6 or 8 floppy disks, and you had to keep swapping out the floppy disks. The good old days, man. The good old days. All right, let's get a coat of top coat on here to protect things and give us a bit of insurance. I need to clean this properly here. And then we can get started on our pie. I did pull some colors. Like I pulled pie crust colors, obviously, and then I pulled some colors that seemed like they would be useful for various kinds of pies. I definitely want to do a blueberry pie. I think I want to do a lemon meringue pie, but I'm like open to suggestions for pie types. And I am going to somehow incorporate some digits of pie into the design. I don't know how many yet. It might depend on what kinds of pie we do. Like, I don't know if I just want to do like 3.14 on the, on one of the pies, like, cut into the crust, or if I want to do more digits spread out across I only know the first few. I know like 3.1415926. That's as far as I've got. But I'm not the kind of person who's going to memorize a whole lot of digits of pi for no good reason. But yeah, we can look it up. Thankfully, we have the technology. Key lime pie. Do I have any of the Starly pie polishes? No, I don't have any pie themed polishes. The main pie you've seen in the Midwest is rhubarb pie. I love rhubarb pie. Pumpkin pie, S tier pie, absolutely. Lemon meringue, pumpkin, and wild blueberry are my 3 top pies. Rhubarb also ranks extremely high. I'm more like rhubarb by itself rather than rhubarb with strawberry, but I'm not going to say no to a rhubarb strawberry. 3.14 typo? What? What do you mean? I don't understand 3.14 typo. The rest are correct. You're here for pie. Hello. Hello, May. Welcome. Welcome. No, flexing is not a good enough reason for me to memorize something. My brain retains the information that it chooses to retain. I have no control over it. Apple, chess pie. You don't think there's a pie you'll turn down other than peanut butter pie? I mean, pie is good. Look at your previous comment. Oh my god, I have to scroll back so far for that. People have been talking. I don't even see your previous comment. I don't see anything about pie. How far back was it? No, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not scrolling that far, cat. I'm just gonna trust that you fucked up the digits of pie. You're basic and you like Dutch apple pie. Hominy pie. What's hominy pie? Chocolate chess pie, shepherd's pie. Wait a second. One of these things is not like the others. You've never had rhubarb pie. Pecan is good. The hell is stargazy pie? Y'all just making up pies. Is cheesecake pie? Yes, but also not for the purposes of this. Like, hang on. Oh. Well. Cheesecake is pie in the same way that that salad is soup. But if we don't call it a pie, I'm not including it. And I'm also not including shepherd's pie, chicken pot pie, or any other savory pie or thing that gets called pie, even though it does not contain any pie crust. The crust to filling ratio is whack on what? Because you don't like pie because the crust to filling ratio is whack? Do you prefer more crust? Do you like the hand pie ratios where there's much less filling and more crust? Pumpkin cheesecake is good. I love pumpkin cheesecake, and I make a very good pumpkin cheesecake. Yeah, I'm not going to do hand pies. I'm not going to do meat pies. Yeah, salad is soup. It's an assemblage of things in a bowl. Soup, stew, salad. It's just a bunch of stuff in a bowl. Mince pie, Leo. Leo, I'm not doing any savory pies. You need more crust for your pie. The fillings can be too much. See, I'm the opposite. I prefer like a single crust pie, generally speaking. I want a very large amount of filling for the amount of crust. Danny, the broth in a soup is just salad dressing. Salad dressing is soup broth. Salad is soup. Soup is salad. They are the same thing. You can use either word for it. I'm fine with it, but they're the same thing. Costco's pumpkin cheesecake has you kneeling and begging. Why are you cursed with the soup debate? I'm actually not. I like cheesecake, and I'm good at making cheesecake. I enjoy making cheesecake. I love when other people enjoy my cheesecake. But cheesecake is not my favorite. It's quite far from my favorite. It's good, but it's just not. It's not what I would. Listen, Danny, I think that most salads have too much dressing, okay? You have shared the cursed fish pie in nonsense in Discord. What is the cursed fish pie? Hang on, we need to pause for some cursed fish pie, apparently. Yes. Okay, before we get to the cursed fish pie, Leo, my girls have multiple scratchers like that, and they love those beds. Except Budgie goes through phases where she will sleep in that. But that's what I have in the window behind me here that everybody sometimes jumps into back here. All the cats like them. But yeah, Budgie just goes through phases with it. She will not be normal. You have to show me what stargazy pie looks like. Okay. Oh, it's fish heads sticking out of a pie. Okay, I'm not going to put that on stream because I feel like that might be icky for some people. But you thought we worked out most of this on Linnery's stream, but you're thrust back into confusion and panic. What is soup? Yeah. Yeah, okay, so Stargazy pie, for anybody who doesn't know, as I didn't know, is a pie where there's a bunch of fish heads sticking out of it, looking up, I guess gazing up at the sky. Ew. And no. Ew and no. Thank you. Trigger warning fish, yeah. Mountain Dew Baja Blast pie. Oh, God. Horrifying. Horrifying. Okay, so we know that every nail is going to have a pie-shaped circle on it. So we can start with that. Because every pie is going to have some kind of a crust. And I think the perfect pie crust colors are actually See Y'all Later Chai with some occasional bits of magical mustache dabbed on. Cow pie, yeah, that's a good. Let's put some cow pies on me. No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna try to do this thing where we make a circle without actually making it bigger and bigger and bigger in 500 increments. And I know someone's gonna be like, "Hey, Peggy, just make the X first, and then that'll make life easier for you." And I'm sure that it would, but I'm not going to anyway, because I'm me and I don't do what's easy. I like to cause myself suffering and anguish by doing things the hard way. Also, I'm pretty sure that I can make an absolute mess of it no matter what method I use. All right, so we're going to start with a chai circle. And probably do a little crimped edge You know, I can probably just like paint the middle section here. Yeah, it's the number one thing that I use chai for, is baked goods. And then also I like to add it in as one of the elements in some flesh toned mixes. So like it's never skin tone on its own, but it's like, you know, one of several colors that go into a skin tone. Although, I mean, I guess depending on what skin tone I'm using, I could use chai on its own, but I just don't think I ever have. It feels wrong to use it on its own. All right, let's flute the edge a little bit here because I'm a little extra that way. We'll just give it a little fluted edge. Budgie is starting to snore, which is just very good. Very, very good. She's quieter than Jammy when she snores, and she's a little further away, so you probably won't be able to hear her, but you're late. Tell Brian you're here. You're waiting for your apology. Hey, Brian. Ashley is on stream. She's waiting for her apology. I heard an I did tell him earlier. He was like, "Am I responsible for buying all of the people in your stream Switch 2 and Pocopia?" And I said, "No, the only one you need to apologize to is Ashley." I told him. Yeah, I don't love Mountain Dew to begin with. And I've never had a Baja Blast, so I feel like probably it's not gonna be for me. Just at a guess. You prefer Baja versus regular Mountain Dew? Are they really that different? Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have that kind of money, but people said it was like a key lime pie. Interesting. Interesting. I do like a key lime pie. I was very put off by the color of that thing, though. I don't think that that's correct. I don't think it's okay for the anything, really, anything edible to be that color. I'm thinning out this brown because I want to add it as like a real, like just some little bits of it. Oh, here he is, Ashley.
Can't you get her one with all the excess profits from your swatching empire?
All the excess profits from my swatching empire? I don't know. I mean, you saw my 1099 earlier today. I didn't
actually look at the numbers.
No, the numbers are not Pocopia and Switch 2 numbers. I'll tell you that much. She's just looking for an apology, man.
Sorry.
There you go. There you go, Ashley. You got your apology. It's only right. Baja Blast tastes like medicine, really? It doesn't taste like lime, but it does taste like teal. I don't think that I want that. I love teal as a color. Baja Blasts are saved for special occasions. The sugar content is blasphemous, but it tastes so good. Really? Twitch said you don't get a 10.99, so you're confused. There has to be a like there's a threshold that you need to pass of profit usually before they have to give you a 10.99. You don't need a 10.99 in order to declare income, though. At least I don't think in most states. Ashley says, apology accepted. Thank you. Have a gelato. He says thank you. Teal is the best tasting food group. Interesting. Okay, what kind of pie is this first one gonna be? I feel like this might be like this might be the one that has the most, like the 3.14 on it. So if this one has a 3.14 on it, that means it's a double crust pie. And if it's a double crust pie, we could send her some Mario stickers. Great. Let's send some Mario stickers to California. Yeah, so if it's a double crust pie, that implies that it's going to be something like apple or, you know, some kind of fruit pie, maybe a cherry. Could be a cherry pie. Blueberry. Although blueberry I like with a lattice, usually. What do we think? Cherry pie? In your state, you have to make $400 to $600 to get a 10.99. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's there's like, I don't know. I'm not as familiar with the US systems for this stuff, but I know that it varies all over the place what the rules are and what the what the starting numbers are for stuff. Okay, so we do 3.14 on here. And if it's cherry pie, then I think we need a mix of red and probably like a berry color. Not even Pokemon stickers. We don't have any Pokemon stickers. He got some Mario stickers when he pre-ordered his Switch 2 way back. Which is what I used for the intro to my Mario Day stream. All right. I think we're going to need a combination of these two colors. Because it's not quite, it's certainly never going to be as red as this red is, but it's not quite as dark as this burgundy-ish color is either. Okay, so we do 3.14 on this thumbnail. I'm gonna sort of try to make it look like the top crust had like the 3.14 like cut out of it as a decorative element, which means I'm gonna have to put like a little bit of shadow work in here. Hopefully I can fit a 3.14. Maybe we'll just do it. I feel like this is going to be a problem, but you know, it is what it is. When I'm baking a pie, I never get it perfect. I don't see why I should get it perfect when I'm doing my nails. Right? I think it's okay for it to not be perfect. That's what I'm going to tell myself, to cover my tears at the imperfection of it. Okay, so I want a little bit of a shadow in here, for which I am going to use this, the darker color. Your husband and you get to joint file this year. That's very exciting. Brian and I have been joint filing for since I moved here because it's just been easier to have him do it. Frankly, I feel no need to be educated in the U.S. ridiculous, crazy system. That is too dark. That's a little better. Try to get a little bit of a shadow here to make it look like it's cut in. And I'm also going to put a little bit of a highlight on the pastry. We can hold hands as we cry, because what the fuck do these numbers mean? Do you save more money when filing joint? I think it depends. Wow, Linry, stop reminding me that you're married. It's weird. Is it weird that Wow Linry is married? Your mom does yours and your partner's because it takes her under 30 minutes to do both of them. Well, it used to take me very little time to do my own taxes in Canada, where taxes are a lot simpler. I haven't tried it here, but that's okay. Your dad taught you and your brother how to do taxes and said have fun. That's just cruel. In America, that's cruel. I mean, I'm sure it's doable if you have a fairly simple tax situation, but it's so much more... What the fuck was that noise? What was that noise? Y'all? The sound that just came out of my face hole. My God. That was incredible. So good. You were engaged to him for like 15 years. You got married this year, but you've been together for 20 years. Okay, I can kind of see how that's weird then. I mean, in terms of it being an adjustment. Obviously, it's not like weird. All right, get a little highlight happening. We're trying to make it look a little more 3D. I don't know if it's going to succeed or not, but we simply have to try. Oh, I did a bad job. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay that I did a bad job. It's fine. This looks like it says 3.19, and it simply doesn't. I should have left that open at the top, shouldn't I? I can still fix it. I can fix her. I can fix her. Y'all, I can fix her. She's just misunderstood. We just needed to make this an open for. It's fine. We're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Okay. Got scared of the taxes. You dropped your swatch sticks? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle everyone. I just fumbled it. That's all. Nothing else happened. I simply fumbled it. Musumbi is demanding playtime. Then playtime he must have. He simply must. Who are you to deny a cat his playtime? Okay. All right. I think that looks a little more readable now. I don't like this part. I think oh shit. I made it too bright. Okay, that's better. I think it's fine. It's fine. It's a cherry pie. It's a cherry pie. I think it reads as a cherry pie. Okay. Next. White shinies on the numbers to make them look more glossy. Ooh, that's a good idea. Good thinking. Good thinking. Just some little little dabs of little round dabs of glossy bits. Just like, if I can. If I fucking can. The problem is that my brush is starting to fray a little bit at the end. And so it is becoming challenging to do things like that. I did a little too much there, but I think if I walk it back with some of the red, then we'll be okay. Don't worry. Trust the process, y'all. Trust the process. One of us has to. And it's sure as shit not going to be me, so. Get some red. Loosen up that red. And then walk back some of that white with just little dabs of, so it's going to be more like brighter red rather than white. Okay. I don't know if I did it, but I think it's fine. You don't trust pie? You didn't trust the process today, Linry, but your mani came out so good. Why did you not trust it? I feel strongly that you should have trusted it. What's the second kind of pie gonna be, y'all? Lemon? Should we do a lemon? Or I want to do a lemon. I'm going to do a lemon. I like lemon. Lemon's one of my favorites. I'm doing a bad job, but that's okay. It's true. Pie could hold many secrets. For instance, 4 and 20 blackbirds. That would be a lot of blackbirds. I don't even know how you fit that many blackbirds in a pie. It's got to be a huge ass pie, right? Like, even, after removing all the non-edible parts, It still seems like a lot of birds to fit in a pie. I don't know why I'm worrying about the crimping part when I don't even have the shape yet. Like, what am I doing? Worry about getting the shape properly, and then worry about the crimping. Okay. I think, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stringy bit. String alert. Try and get it off there with a dry brush. I think we got it. All right. Yeah, I think yellow is going to be cute. And plus, I just love lemon. The confidence in making the circles is awe-inspiring. Listen, this is not confidence. As someone who cooked little birds once, they don't take up much room and 24 is reasonable. Really? I mean, I'm going to trust you, but that just seems like a lot. Seems like a lot of little birds. I feel like the birds would feel that it's too many. Hey, Belly, welcome. My finger is covering up the na in nano, and it looks like my brush says no point. That's amazing. I love that. Okay. Back to this. I'm going to use a lighter yellow than I think is correct for the lemon meringue. But then I'm going to top it with a wash of a much more intense yellow that I think is too intense. And I'm hoping that between the two of them, they give a kind of like impression of jelly-like depth. That's my hope. I don't know if we're going to get that, but that's my hope. Oh boy. Okay. Let's use the bottle brush for the middle part. How am I? I am doing pretty well. I'm excited to bake some pie this weekend. I think we're gonna go to the store tomorrow, pick up some frozen blueberries and some lemon so that I can make a blueberry pie. So that's exciting. Your husband hunted quail and he was so proud of himself you tried to cook them for him, but you hated it so much you told him never again. Legit, that it's a lot of work breaking down small birds for cooking. It's a lot. And even if all you're doing is roasting like a whole quail, there's still a ton of prep if you're going from a freshly killed bird. That's just a lot of work. Mad respect to the people that do it, but couldn't be me. Crazy amount of work. You wonder if you'll have the willpower to get Blaze Pizza for Pie Day? Haven't even thought about what to have for dinner on Pie Day. I think we're probably just going to end up doing, one of the meal kits. But yeah, the blueberry pie has got to happen. Hello, welcome, Vibrant Pixel. Um, Pizza does sound like the correct thing to do on Pie Day, though. I just feel like I'm probably not going to end up doing that. We did pizza this past weekend. We went, not on the weekend, actually. It was Monday night. We went to, because it was so beautiful out. Like, the weather was wild. It was so nice. So we went to a local beer farm where they, make their own beer there. And then so they have a brewery. They have the whole farm where they actually grow most of the stuff for it, and then they also make pizzas on site, and they're actually good pizzas. So we went there and hung out for a couple hours, and it was good. But yeah, it does mean that probably pizza is not on the menu this week. Not that I would be necessarily opposed to it per se, but it doesn't seem like the most healthful option when there's already going to be a blueberry pie and we have meal kits to use. I just accidentally messed up a little bit of the edge here. I'm waiting on this because I'm putting a layer on top of that yellow, and I just want to make sure that it dries a little bit. I do have to also put the darker brown wash on the crust, though, so I'm going to do that while I'm waiting. Make sure that we have sufficiently browned our crust. Got that good egg wash happening. It's important. Because, if it doesn't have the egg wash, how do you know that it's like delicious? I feel like I've made the egg wash, I've made the browned bits a little bit too even. I might need to back that off a little tiny bit. Don't know. Oof, I got a string there. We don't want that. Little stringy bits. It's no good. Okay. See if we can back off a little bit of this in some blotchy fashion. Just make it a little less even. Yeah, that's a little better, I think. Okay. Now Musumbi wants fresh food. Never mind that you put food in his bowl 5 minutes ago. Welcome to having an indoor cat. This is your life now. This is what you do now. This is all you are. Okay, so we did the 3.14. Do we want to do more digits on the other nails? Because if we do, I think I could use like meringue topping to do like a 1-5 on this nail, and then 9-2, and then 6, and then whatever the other digits are that I will have to look up. Or I could do one number per nail. Or, we could just leave it at the 3.14. I feel like there's a lot of directions we could take this. What do we think? Should we do numbers on all the pies, or should we do just the thumb number? I'm going to actually make a poll for this. How about that? On all or only thumb? Poll is up. All right, let's get this wash going here. So we're going to want that no matter what. Pull. That is not going to be enough. We need it to be fairly thin here, I think. You voted thumb only, but with the hopes of a pie symbol on a blueberry pie. That could be cute. I like that idea. A pie symbol on a blueberry pie would be very cute. Okay, if thumb only wins, then I will do that. There we go. A little wash of the more vibrant orange. Or yellow, rather. I know what colors are. Me fail English? That's impossible. Yeah, I think that's a really cute idea to do the pie symbol on like the middle nail. Belly, do you also have your devices set to auto correct the word pie to the symbol for pie? Because I do. They also will translate alpha, beta, gamma, because I used to use those a lot at work. it's just easier because I would have to like actually substitute in the symbols. So rather than searching for them, I would just type the word and it would automatically correct it. You can't wait to swatch your collection on stream because you have no idea what colors are and you need people to correct you. You know, to be fair, it is basically fucking impossible sometimes to tell which batch something should go in, especially if it's like something complex like a shifty color or like something right in between that's riding the line. It's basically impossible sometimes. I'm gonna wait on doing the meringue on top of that because I want it to dry down a little bit more. Danny, you're just Linnery, you're just gonna troll Danny now. You know, I feel like we would all be disappointed if you didn't. And maybe the biggest troll of all would be if you suddenly started being completely sincere and never trolling anyone. Remember how you were talking about the confidence of my circles? Way to fucking jinx me. Thanks. Oh my god. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. That's ableist. Not everyone can see. Oh my god. You know, sometimes the brain just does its own thing. We flutin'. Oh, we flutin'. Thankfully, I'm better at fluting the edges of my pie crust in real life than I am with this because If my crusts actually looked this rough, my mother would be ashamed. She's not even dead yet, and she would be rolling over in her grave. She'd be like, did I teach you nothing? Am I a joke to you? What are you doing? Okay. Should have done the X trick. Uh-huh. I should have. And yet, here I am, never gonna do it. Of course, you typing like that immediately puts the SpongeBob meme in my head. Even though that typing style predates SpongeBob, it's still, they're so completely linked now in my head. They are one and the same. Okay. Good enough. Blueberry. I think we're going to use Indigo Away as our base for Blueberry. Yeah, exactly. You got to let it cool before you add the meringue. So it's dangerous to try and add the meringue too soon. Digging a grave purely to roll in it is commitment to disappointment. You know what? My mother would. My mother would. She is nothing if not committed. Okay. Blueberry. We begin with a base of Indigo Away because it just feels right. It feels like the thing to do. And then I'm going to have to add... Oh, I don't think I pulled the right color. I think I have the right color, and I think I just didn't pull it for the highlights. I mean, I guess I could just add white to Indigo Away. That would probably work just fine. But, like, why do I have 5 million colors of cremes if not so that I can just pull something that's almost exactly what I want and then adjust that to be even closer to what I want, even though it's close enough? You know, it doesn't matter how many cremes I have, I will always end up mixing. I will always and forever end up mixing. Oh, that was good. I just did a really good job. I went way too far over. I'm gonna have to double back and fix that. That's okay. Oh, I never ended the poll. There we go. Would have been funny if I remembered to end the poll and I looked up and it turned out that it had been completely reversed and people had decided that it needed to be numbers on all of the pies. I would have laughed. Non-polished people just don't get it? Yeah. It's true, it is a homemade pie, so on some level there are no mistakes, but also I get a little annoyed if the filling sloshes a little onto the fluted edge. It's like I'm disappointed in myself, you know? And that's basically what I did here is I sloshed the filling onto the fluted edge, which is not, it's just not acceptable. I also forgot to egg wash this pie. Look at me. Just fucking up all over the place here. My goodness. Okay. Let's get our egg wash on there. Get nicely browned up. If anyone here doesn't bake and doesn't understand why I'm calling this egg wash, it's because if there isn't a certain level of protein in the pastry, it won't brown up nicely. And most pastries don't have a ton of protein in them. And so what you would normally do is add a layer, just add a thin wash of like egg mixed with water onto the edges of the crust before you put it in to bake. And it just helps it brown up nicely. It just makes it look prettier. It doesn't actually affect the flavor significantly. You can also do other things, like you can do milk, for instance. But yeah, it's egg is sort of the traditional, most common thing to use to brown up the crust. It just looks more appealing. Without it, it won't really brown up. Egg wash is goated for cinnamon rolls, yeah. I don't usually do cinnamon rolls. I do Chelsea buns. That's like traditional Christmas Day breakfast. So I prep them on Christmas Eve and basically get them completely ready, and then leave them in the fridge overnight, and then just bring them out and get them to room temperature, and let them rise a little bit in the morning. So I have to get up super early on Christmas Day just for that. And then pop them in the oven. So that's breakfast / brunch. Yeah, see, as soon as you add the browning, it immediately looks more like a real pie. It's gooder. Okay, now we need to add some highlights in this blueberry mix here, which I'm going to do with, I'm going to need more than that, please. Thank you. We will take a little bit of white, a little bit of blue, just get a real watered down. That is basically like a perfect blueberry color, isn't it? Cooked blueberries. Okay, let's see if we can do this without it looking weird. Gonna have to backtrack a little bit, I'm sure, but I think if we do like some little dots of this and then go back over it again with the thinned out just indigo away, I think we should get kind of close to where we want to be here. Yeah. Just try and sort of break that up so it looks like it's you know, a little mottled with some highlights scattered throughout. And then the pie symbol is going to be done in pastry over top of it. gonna go back in again with a little bit more highlighting. Just kind of push and pull here. All right. Are these pies or tarts? That size screams tarts. Pies shouldn't come that small. Listen. We're not going to get into the difference between pies and tarts because what is called a tart in the US is not the same as what is called a tart in Europe. And these are both tarts. Regardless of what size they are. Bean bath. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Tart is only mini pie in North America. That is a North American definition of tart. Are you supposed to be paying attention to Europeans now? Probably not. I am, in fact, a tart, yes. The winner of the British Pie Awards for 2026 was a chicken Kiev pie from Baldy's Pies in Wigan. Supreme champion from a record 1,040 entries. Well, there you go. What the fuck is a kilometer? Okay. Okay, Linry. Okay, let's try and make this an attractive pie symbol, shall we? Get a nice bold strip across here. Probably should have waited for the filling to dry a bit more, but go like down and then get a nice little curve. Am I going the right way? Hold up. Pie symbol. Let me just make sure I'm doing it right. Oh, I did it wrong. This says that it's straight on this side and then it goes that way on that side. Damn. Messed it up. I messed it up, y'all. Why did you let me do that? Why did y'all let me do that? I knew there was a twiddly bit. I just got it on the wrong side. Ah, shit. And I just fucked up the filling. All right. It's fine. It's fine. We got this. We can fix this. This is fixable. We can fix it. We can fix it. It's going to be fine. I'm telling you. Don't know why none of you have any faith. A bunch of doubting Thomases. Just mirror the image. Sure, no problem. Yeah, thanks, y'all. Unfortunately, stream delay means that we will never be able to have you correct me in real time like that. Okay. It comes down. And then it goes this way. There we go. Look at that. Incredible. Listen, I did not go to school for math. I went to school for biology. And you know what they say? I don't know. I was just going to make up some shit about what they say. But I don't think I want to now. I was going to insult biologists. And that doesn't seem like it's in my best interest. Biologists are the best anyway, so everybody else can suck it. Pie is tapping a toe. You're believing me, but I sound scary. What are you talking about? Better fix it before the math community comes for me. Seriously. Listen. You know, my ex was a mathematician. And Brian is a physicist. Apparently I have a type, and that type likes numbers for some reason. Yikes. I see you, little string. There is a string doing a float right there. A marines biologist. I'm definitely not a marines biologist. That would be funny, though. Is that what you call a doctor that specifically works with the Marines? Is that like a naval medical officer? A Marines biologist? Yuck, yuck, yuck. Come on, y'all. That was a pretty good joke. It was at least a tolerable joke. Biology is a practical science. Those theoretical dorks don't stand a chance. That's right. I know which of us is going to be useful in the apocalypse. I know all kinds of stuff about microbiology and immunology. Like the 5-second rule? Don't. Not in a zombie apocalypse. No siree, Bob. Not if we don't have antibiotics. Do not go around licking things. Just saying. In the non-zombie kind of apocalypse, it's going to depend. You also just dropped a whole open swatch ring and a bunch of sticks went flying off? No, that's not acceptable. Don't do that. It's true. If I need numbers done, Spooky Mouse, if I need someone to do numbers at me for some reason, I just go, hey, numbers this, please. Do the numbers thing. And like, Brian does something in his brain and then numbers come out of his face hole. I don't really understand how it works, but it's kind of cool. It's like having a calculator, but he's alive and I don't have to type things into him. And I don't have to remember which way around I'm supposed to type things. Sensible chuckle. Thank you. I'll take it. Tell what to the cats? Not to lick the floor? I'm not telling that to the cats. They have a different thing going on. They can lick whatever they want. As long as it's not me. Cinna has a thing for licking Brian's head. Like, she thinks he's a dirty kitten who doesn't know how to clean himself. So she just like, she'll climb up on top of him and just like start licking his head in this very dedicated way. And she has tried to do it to me a couple of times, but I have hair, which she apparently finds quite problematic. Are windows safe? If not, my literal window licker of a dog is going to be very dead very fast. Windows are fine as long as it's not an actual zombie apocalypse. If it's a zombie apocalypse, it's going to depend on how many zombie juices are on it. Don't go around radiation fallout with open cuts and you'll be fine. Again, it's really going to depend on the kind of apocalypse. Okay. I'm enjoying this so far. I'm thinking this is cute. Now, let's do some meringue. I think, do I want to do like the little swirl of meringue, or do I want to do more like a dollopy thing? I guess since it's like just going to be a spot in the middle that's not going to be the whole thing, it should probably be the swirl type, right? I think it should. Which means it's going to be basically white, and then it's going to have like the toasty swirl. I think that's going to have to be how this works. So let's get a little white blob hard mode swirl. Yeah. And listen, this is not how I would make a lemon meringue pie. I am a big fan of the meringue going all the way to the edges and being piled high and like with the nice little peaks. But then if we did it that way, we wouldn't be able to see the yellow. And I really want to be able to see the yellow because it's just more fun. It's funnerer. Oof. Plus, the more circles we have in a Pie Day manicure, I think the better. Okay, this is driving me crazy. My little thing here has gotten a bit yuck. My little acetone lid that I use as a dappen dish. You know how, like, it ends up, because you're cleaning your brushes in it, it ends up getting all, like, kind of yucky on the bottom. It's like shimmery sludge. It had kind of gotten to that point. I start to question whether it's cleaning my brushes or just dirtying them more. Okay. Brun. I was about to look up a photo reference, but I think I'm just gonna... You've been here the whole time, you definitely didn't forget? Yeah, I know. As if you ever would. Hi. We're making pie. You love shimmer sludge? Listen, I got nothing against shimmer sludge. I just don't want it to be... dirtying my brushes when I'm trying to have clean brushes. All right, are we gonna be able to do this? Anyone taking bets on whether or not I can make this kind of look a little bit like a swirl? Because I have doubts. To be clear, I have doubts about my ability to do this. Especially with this brush having splits in it now. And also this being too dry. I feel like it's me that's not gambling. Dude, I think you're giving me a little too much credit. There are things that I am very good at making, like for instance, words. Very good at turning words to fucking garbage. Okay, this is ridiculous. Can we just get like a decent... Nope, we can't. I just want... Can you give me one little... I just want one. Just give me a nice swirl, you motherfucker. You're not gonna do it. Okay. That's not gonna do it, but that's okay. That's okay. We got this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Because what are we going to do? We're gonna back it off the other direction. We're going to push and pull like we always do. We're going to push and pull, and it's going to turn out just fine. It's going to work. We're going to trust the process, and the process is going to come through for us. And if it doesn't, we'll say, good enough. You know, at some point we'll look at it and we'll just be like, you get the idea. Yeah. This is the worst, y'all. I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. It's fine. We're gonna be fine. Shimmer sludge. There's no shimmer in this, though. All right. Y'all. I got this. I did it. It's good enough. Remember how I said we were going to say it's good enough at some point? It's good enough. We've reached that point. It's good enough. Now I am going to do a little drop shadow. Maybe jelly for shadow? Yeah. I'm going to put a little shadow on the surface of the yellow. Just a tiny bit of brown, I think, in with some of the yellow. Make a little shadow here. And then I'm going to work that out so that it's not too like big blob. Just like kind of reduce part of it a little. Try and blend it out a little. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit of a mix to help blend that because it's not blending quite as nicely as I would like. So we go some of this and some of this. There we go. That should blend a little nicer. Okay. A little more around this side. Okay, I feel like that's doing it for me. It at least gets the idea across. It's very far from perfect, but I think it gets the idea across. I hope it does. And if it doesn't, well, fuck you. Next pie. What's our next pie, y'all? Should we do another one that's like a double crust or maybe a basket weave crust? Basket weave crust could be cute on like a, I don't know, strawberry or something. I don't know. What do y'all think? Yeah, the idea for that was lemon meringue, but like with just a dollop of meringue in the middle. If you guessed lemon meringue, then it's good enough. You can tell what it's supposed to be. It's good enough. That's my opinion. Yeah, lattice would be cute. Lattice rhubarb. Lattice top rhubarb pie. Chocolate pie with whipped cream could be cute, maybe for the pinky. But yeah, I think it would be nice to have a something with a lattice top here, for like in just in terms of like visual balance. I feel like that will work best. Also, because on my pinky, whatever I do is going to be a lot smaller, so it's going to have to be quite a bit simpler. So a larger nail will work better for a lattice. You definitely didn't just get here and immediately get it. Yeah, no, of course, you've been here all along. I know. You were just busy earlier, so you didn't catch what it was, so you were able to guess because, you know, you could tell what it was. So I'm sure you were just busy, you know, with the dogs or doing your nails while being here, totally watching stream, 100%. Pinky should be a slice. Oh, that's cute. Ray, you're late? How could you? Oh my god. Ray. Sassy's been here the whole time. What's your excuse? Yeah, Pinky being a slice is a cute idea. And it will solve a lot of problems. So I do like that idea. But a slice of what? Pumpkin? Chocolate? A berry of some sort? You met the neighbor's new puppy? Cute. Sassy was using your brain cell? Well, I'm glad that you got to meet Sassy's neighbor's puppy then, Ray. That's how that works, right? Do you share experiences if you're sharing the brain cell? Y'all, I'm excited. I found out that Brittany is just about ready to start, as she said, panic mixing my Swatcher Showcase polish. And I am stoked to start working on it. We have a concept for it and a name. So I am very excited to see it come to life, and hopefully I will like the idea that I came up with when she actually makes it. I think I will. Off the rails and do a slice of Melton Mowbray pork pie with jelly et al. No. Absolutely not. There will be no savory pies in this Manny. None. Although a pizza slice would be funny on the pinky, but no. Nope. No fish heads. Absolutely the fuck not. I'm not doing that. Yuck. Let's look up rhubarb pie reference because it has been a while and I want to make sure I get the colors kind of vibing right. So rhubarb pie. Yeah. Okay. Okay, okay. Oh, look at that. Someone's got a strawberry rhubarb pie in a lattice top. So it's basically just gonna have like, yeah, there's a rhubarb custard pie. That's more like, yeah, all right. I think how I want to do this. It's going to be a little pinkier than the cherry was. Listen, I said right at the start there was not going to be any savory pies in this mani, and I'm holding to that. It's not going to happen. I refuse. I refuse. By the way, as I pull out a Dimension nails polish here, I went to try to tag Dimension in something on a mani the other day, and I couldn't tag them, and I think that she might have shut down the Instagram account. Which, like, I get it, but it's sort of extra sad. I don't know. Like, it was comforting being able to, like, tag the account even though the polish isn't sold anymore and the business is shut down. But I liked being able to tag her and stuff. And I feel like it's sad that it's not there anymore. That's all. That's all I wanted to say about that. It was such a good brand. And she was cool. I mean, I'm sure she still is cool. Whatever she's doing now, she's still cool. Yeah, squish is egg pie. That's quite correct. I think of a squish as being sort of an omelet pie, technically, but yeah, it's egg pie. Yeah, it does suck for anyone trying to find swatches. Although it is like you can still find at least like photos from swatchers. It's just that they won't all be concentrated on one person's page. And like, I mean, obviously I'm still gonna continue saying who the polish is by. I'll just say, just write out Dimension Nails instead of tagging. Which I feel like is kind of what is standard for that sort of situation anyway. Okay. I can't imagine anyone's just gonna like stop tagging them entirely. Is See Y'all Later Chai the crust color? Yes, but I'm also doing a little super watered down magical mustache over top of it. I haven't done it on the one I'm doing currently, but I've done it on the other ones to like make it a little nicer. So it's like I remembered my egg wash. All right, we're just putting our little pieces of rhubarb in here because it is a rhubarb custard pie. Don't worry, the lattice is coming. I got to build this up because we want to make sure that we're seeing rhubarb custard in between the woven sections of the lattice. Okay. Now your peelies decide they're done now that it's almost 8 p.m. Well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. The edges are lifting. One is cracked because the formula you used is cement-like. The formula of the polish? Surely not of the peely base. That would be weird. You should indeed have peeled them at the start of stream. I often end up peeling, popping off my peelies on purpose while I'm like sitting in the evening, either in front of the TV or like just sitting on the sofa. Yeah. It's fine. So I have to wait for the filling on that other one to dry, so I figured I would just get a start on whatever kind of pie slice I'm doing here. I don't know what kind of slice it's going to be, but I know it's going to be a pie slice, which means it's going to have a crust. So might as well get that going. That is a deep crust that I made. And it's kind of far over. I think I'm going to bring it this way a little more. And make it a little less deep. Just bring it up. I can always add filling over on that side. We'll just get our crust structure here. There we go. Okay. A shimmer glow in the dark. Oh, glow in the dark can be weird. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do pumpkin or chocolate yet. Chocolate might be better from a contrast point of view. Although pumpkin I could make a little more orangey. So it would give another color. I don't know. I feel like it could go either way really easily. Certainly a whipped cream dollop on top. No doubt about that. Oh, lime could be nice as well. Lime is actually not a bad idea because then that does a different pop of color. And again, with lime, it can have a little dollop on top. So that would be an option. Or it could be like a lime with the more like traditional meringue style where it's the full top. Since it's a slice, it would be easy to do that. Okay. We do the basket weave. A little lattice action here. How far apart do I want to space these? I want it to be, it's got to be enough that you can kind of see the pie behind it. So that's probably pretty good. It's very thick weave because I don't want to do a million fucking strips on here. She's thick. She's thick. All right. And then we go this away. I'm going to use shadow and highlight to give us the weave rather than trying to like get the texture right. Because that's more work than I want to do right now. Oh, 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 oh. We got a little stringy there, folks. We got a little stringy. I don't know why Najwa and Sassy are greeting each other so excitedly when Sassy's been here literally the entire stream, right from the very beginning. Did not miss even a single minute of stream. You're making a peach cobbler? I want a peach cobbler. Send me peach cobbler, please. Yeah, it's Nicole's fault that that song is constantly in my head every time I hear the word thick. Lori. It's 100% Nicole's fault. You've been trying and failing in a tasty way to perfect a recipe. I think as long as where you're starting from is a place of reasonable deliciousness, you can fail as many times as you want with absolutely no unpleasant side effects. And in fact, you probably should fail as much as possible. As long as you get to eat all of the failures. Okay, let's see here. So we're gonna go over here and then under here. Just starting to get these little shadow lines in. And then over here. And then that means this one's going to go under here and under here. Oop, I went a little too far over there. That's okay. Which means that this is going to go over. Over. And then on this side, we go over here. Oop. Gonna have to do a little touching up, but that's okay because it's all gonna get touched up anyway. You were totally not hyper focusing on planning your hiking trip. I mean, that seems like a pretty good thing to hyper focus on, to be perfectly honest. I think you're correct to do that. And also, I'm jealous. All right, we start to toast up our crust a little bit on the edges with our egg wash here. Whoop. My egg wash got a little dense there. Got a little too browned in that spot. All right. There we go. And then so the lighter parts are actually going to be on the bottom sections. I have to think about this carefully because the tops are actually going to be darker. But then there's also the shadow. So I kind of have to there's definitely going to have to be some push and pull happening here. Because obviously the highest points are going to get the brownest. But then you also have the shadowed areas to deal with. So I think the shadowed areas are going to have just like a harder line that's a little darker. Okay, so we get, let me use this slightly bigger brush, and I'm gonna get just some thinner here and help me kind of soften some of this out a bit. And I'm probably going to end up adding back in a little bit more chai in some spots. Yeah. Okay. Hiking trip does sound very fun. I want to do that. Not that my knee can handle that at the moment, unfortunately, but you know. We're working on it. Okay, there we go. Get a little bit of a hard line there. Get a little bit of a harder line there, if I can. And then, where else? Here, let's soften this part out a little bit more. I feel like it got a little too dark at one area near the edges of the crust. Or like, not one area, but like one sort of whole section got a little too dark where they join. Okay, and now I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting as well, I think, to help highlight like some little tiny edges, help with the contouring slightly. So get a bit of this and a bit of this and do a little mix in this area here. Yeah. Not too many spots, just a few. Just a few itty bitty little highlights. Get a little gloss in there. I think that's better. I think maybe we stop there. Yeah, the light blue background is really lovely. It's actually quite desaturated on its own, but the colors of the rest of the mani are really enhancing the blue on it. It's this Finding Feathers Morning Mist, so it's got like a little bit of a blue shimmer you can see there. But the base color is more of like a desaturated sort of slate blue. Mist is definitely the correct name for that. I think I like the lime idea for the pinky because I want that pop of green. I think that's going to look really, really cute. I don't think I've ever had shoe fly pie. What's shoe fly pie? This is not what I want to. How do I? Why are you not? Oh my god. Okay. No, Najwa is not in the EU. You're mixing up people in your head. Najwa is in Texas. Why are you talking to Najwa in the third person? Katya is in the EU, which is similar structure for the name, but different. All right, lime. Oof. Oh, my legs were not expecting to stand up. Um. What color do we want for a key lime pie? Let's see. Key lime pie. It's like a very light. I think I'm going to be mixing some green with, ooh. Okay, this is nice. There's some of these slices have like whipped cream and then like a thin slice of lime in them. And I think I want to do that so I have more of like a green. But I think I'm going to end up mixing not pressed and here for the payday because I think the color that I want is going to be partway in between them for the lime itself. And then for the filling, it's going to be these two together. You smashed a nail earlier. No. I hate that. I fucking managed to just like thwap my hand into things constantly. It's just like it's a daily event for me. Like I don't. My hands and my hips. I'm constantly walking into shit, and I have mystery bruises always on my hips. Trying to catch something accounts for 80% of your breaks. Yeah, trying to catch something is sometimes a thing, but for me it's more often that I just like I fling my hand out to do something else and it just smack into something, or I like push my hand forward a little further than I'm supposed to, a little too fast, and just like ram the tips of my nails against something. I do that shit all the time. It's very annoying. Okay, so it's a little too green, I think, for the filling. The filling of key lime pie is definitely more yellowy with a hint of green. Unless you have added some food coloring, which I guess is a thing that people do, but not really my thing. Okay, so I'm going to follow that out to there. Bring that down. Fill this section in here. We are, of course, going to have to do a little highlighting here along the edge and a little shadow along the edge of the pastry. I don't know why I'm using this brush. It is suboptimal at best. I really, I didn't choose the best angle for this pie, I have to say. I'm gonna fudge the angle a little bit to help make it look right. It means the perspective is slightly skewed, but I think that's better than the alternative in this case. Okay. So there is our filling. Gonna do a little bit of a tiny bit of a shadow. Pie looks like quiche right now. Yes. You ever just punch a cup clean off your desk instead of picking it up? Yeah. I certainly have. I never understand how it's possible. But yeah, I have absolutely punched things clear off my desk trying to grab them, including nail polish, of course. It's interesting though. I never cut myself with anything sharp. I never like seriously injured myself with anything dangerous. It's always, all my injuries come from doing things that are normal and safe that you do every day. I will cut myself on anything but a knife. I will cut myself on so many things that you wouldn't even think would be sharp enough to cut, but never on a knife. It's a thing, man. I don't know. You once accidentally punched your cat because he jumped onto the couch and directly into your closed fist. Oh, God. Okay, but that's the cat's fault. That's different. That is hilarious, though. I have punched myself in the face more times than I care to admit. Okay, we're going to get a little bit of a highlight along this one edge here. I'm going to use my other brush for that. Okay, so we get ourselves a little highlight right here. I feel like that's correct. Okay. And then we're going to have a little whipped cream bloop up here, which is going to need a shadow under it. Not the hedgehog. Basically making a little poop, but white. Okay. And then we'll put a little lime wedge on top of that. But we're going to let it just dry a little bit before we do that. I do have to do a little tiny bit of browning on the crust that's peeking out from behind it. You cut yourself on cheese once. I can see that if it's a harder rind cheese. That actually makes total sense to me that that could be a thing you could do. Now, if you cut yourself on mozzarella, I don't know. There's something wrong with you. I'm going to use just a tiny bit of this. For a shadow, I think. This is our not pressed. I think it's going to be the correct sort of shade to do shadow with. Under here. And then like maybe a little bit over here. And a little bit back in here. Yeah. Get a tiny bit back in this corner as well. Just whispering to myself, don't worry about it. Sorry if you couldn't hear me. It wasn't anything important, I promise. There we go. I do feel like I kind of took the whipped cream a little too far to the edge there. Let's back that off a little. There we go. That's better. Oh yeah, boxes, plastic, absolutely. Monster. Are we back on fart jokes again? I like to whisper too. Okay, let's do a mix of these two greens and see if we can't get something close to a lime slice out of it. So I feel like neither one of them is quite correct for a lime, but I think we can maybe get close. Just a touch of yellow. Are you completely dried out? You're like completely dried out. Okay, never mind. You know, I think it's gonna be fine like this. All right, let's see. How do I want to put this lime slice in here? Like, I feel like maybe like a little. Little lime wedge like this. I feel like I've just completely covered my whipped cream now, is the problem. I've completely covered my whipped cream. I'm gonna have to do something about that. But I don't know what yet, so we'll figure it out. I might have to just stack my whipped cream a little higher. We'll get there. I believe in us. Together, my friends. Together we will get there. Let's add some white. Add some more whipped cream back in. You know, worst case scenario, we can just replace the whole top section with whipped cream. All right. So we got our whipped cream back. Is the lime reading at all as a lime at this point to y'all? I think it maybe kind of is. Does it say key lime pie? Y'all know, of course, that I'm gonna have to like do all the crust sections with matte top coat and everything else glossy. Because that's how my brain works. I think it's good enough. I think we're gonna call it. Okay. And I feel like that's it for basically for the mani. It's just gonna be top coating. So I'm gonna do my my usual insurance first. Have I forgotten anything? I don't think so. What is this? What is this blob here? What do I have a blob on here for? Is that just like a fleck of... What is that? You'll see this black dot here. I don't know where this came from. Can do a little tiny bloop over that to clean it up. Okay. All right. I'll give that a second to dry on my thumb since I had to fix that. All right, so we get our seal glaze on here. And then we'll get our glossy top coat. And then last but not least, we'll add matte top coat for the crust areas. And only the crust areas. Good enough. You're disappointed I didn't try to fit more digits? Listen. I was going to, and I let people vote. I let people vote, and you were not here to sway them. So they decided just the thumb was going to have any numbers on them, on it. Oh, my other side light is flickering on me. It's been over 2 hours, I guess. At least it's not another 4-hour stream. That was a little much. I was absolutely sausages at the end of that stream on Tuesday. Madness. It was a really cool mani, though. The hilarious thing, though, is I literally took it off the same day because I have so much swatching to do. If I was going to do just 3.14, I could have at least done it upside down so it looks like pi. No. No. Yeah. Backwards is correct. But that's not the way I roll. I'm not doing that. I made Ray cry. Mission accomplished. All right. I'd say that's dry enough. Other hand? Nah, not tonight. Not tonight. No, we are calling it at a slightly over 2-hour stream. I think that is sufficient, especially since I still have to mattify the crusts. I'm like still fucking tired from Tuesday's stream. It was really brutal. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but it was a lot. I think 4-hour streams need to be extremely rare. Extremely. God, I'm funny. Okay. A 3.14-hour stream? That would be funny. Yes, the cat is lying on a laundry basket. The cats claimed this laundry basket. So actually what happened was we have 3 identical laundry baskets because we had one in the closet. The cats kept stealing it, and then they went on sale, and Brian was like, I'm going to get 2 more laundry baskets. So we have one upstairs that is literally just for cats, and we have one downstairs that is literally just for cats. And sometimes it's like puffed up and, you know, it's stuffed with paper and the cats will burrow into it. And sometimes they just decide to flop down on it like this and completely crush it. So currently one of Timony's favorite things to do is down in the living room. Brian will stuff the laundry bag there full of just a ton of packing paper. He's been, you know, storing it up for like months and months. He just, every time we get new packing paper, he just shoves it into this laundry bag. Timony will burrow into it like some kind of weird rodent and pull all of the paper out and strew it across the entire living room. And then the next day, Brian will stuff everything all back into the laundry bag again, and then Timony will start the process all over again. And it's a great game for him, but it does mean that our living room is just in a constant state of absolute chaos, which is fine because honestly, it's us. It was going to be like that anyway. Okay. But yeah, so those ones, if we. So we have the ottoman for the Poang chair. This bag, if you like, sort of form it correctly and stick it underneath the ottoman legs will hold it, and it's just rigid enough that it'll hold it open. And I used to have one of the ottomans in here, and so the laundry bag was under there, and yeah, it used to be open all the time, and then somebody decided, well, first the ottoman left the room, and then somebody decided to lie on top of it, and since then it's become Budgie's favorite napping spot during the afternoon. At least temporarily. Until whatever the next favorite napping spot becomes. All right. Matt. Yes, it is Timony's world. We're just living in it. Timony really is a dog. He absolutely is a dog. I keep saying he is a dog inhabiting a cat's body. He's at least half dog. Okay, I'm gonna do the matte sections now, which is just gonna be the crust. I don't know, should the meringue be matte as well? I feel like meringue usually has it's not glossy. It's like matte or like kind of satiny. Yeah, Sassy, you gotta have matte crust. Listen, it's gonna make the glossy innards look even glossier. It's a choice of contrast. Because even with egg wash, a standard pastry crust isn't going to be as glossy as the inside of the pie. All right. I just think it's going to be better this way. Matte over a pearly shimmer would be good for meringue. You are not wrong. Do I have a pearly shimmer? You know what, I kind of do, but it's fairly opaque. I don't know if I want to suffer with the meringue again. That was such a pain in the ass. But I wonder if it would look more meringue if I went over it with a shimmer. It might. Need more matte. The convection in the oven is not to be used for cobbler. Yeah, I mostly don't prefer convection for baking in general. I find that it tends to dry things out a little too much for most baking stuff, for my taste. I know there are people who do bake with convection, and for some stuff it can work. It is not typically how I prefer to do things. I feel like I have more control in a way without the convection. Even though really the convection makes the whole oven more consistent, but because it can be so drying, it's like, yeah, just adds an element of unpredictability to it, or you have to be correcting for humidity as well as everything else. Yeah, I could thin it and try it. The one that I have is the one that I'm thinking of is BCB Corny, because it's a white polish with white shimmer. It's very pearlescent. So it might actually work quite nicely. Ugh, it's completely dried out. Why not? Let's give it a shot, even though I've already done my top coat. But let's give it a shot. Okay. Oof. Oh. Knees. There it is. Okay. Corny. Last week, while I was working at the food bank, a young lady, I was talking with her, one of the other volunteers. She figured out that she was about Carmen's age, and she decided that she wanted to try to guess my age. And y'all, she guessed me at mid to late 50s. It's fine. I wasn't hurt at all. I was like, dude, my ego. My delicate, delicate ego. She did say that it was mostly based on the fact that Carmen was the same age as her. Oh no, it wasn't. I don't think she knew that I was a leap year baby. I don't think I had mentioned that. But yeah, it was pretty funny. Okay, this is extremely subtle, but I kind of like that it is giving it this like little bit of pearlescence. That's pretty cute. I kind of want to add it to the lime as well. There we go. Listen, she wasn't that far off. She did say that she, like, sort of knocked up her her estimate based on Carmen's age, because her own parents are like in their late 50s, and so she figured that, you know, I would probably be in a similar range. She did not take into account the fact that nor did she know the fact that I had her so young. So one time someone thought you were your mom's mom. Ouch. Man, that's rough. That is rough. That is brutal. That's a fucking hate crime. Do I want the meringue to be matte now? I could kind of just leave it like that, actually. I could leave it just like that and not even worry about it. Oh, I didn't do the matte on the thumb yet. I still need to do the thumb. You were like 21, you just had a cane. That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, it is a thing that if you had a kid extremely young, then people will adjust their estimates of your age based on the age of your kid. It's totally a thing. But it is a little brutal. I was like, I've never been so wounded by a person's estimate of my age. Your mom had 3 kids by the time she was the age you are now. Your husband regularly gets mistaken for your dad. Oh no. That's hilarious. There was definitely when Brian was in the hospital. I mean, like he'd been through, the chemo and radiation and had lost just a ton of weight and and then that's even before the surgery that he was in the hospital for. And so there was definitely a lot of like nurses coming in the room and saying things like, and this is your wife? Just like worried that they were going to say, the wrong thing. And I'm sure they're trained not to make assumptions about relationships, but it was very funny because he was looking a little rougher than usual at the time. Just for a little while there. It's hard to look young and beautiful when you're on your you're recovering from your second or third surgery that opens up your entire insides. It was a rough month for him. It was very funny though because like he literally almost died multiple times during that month. Like really very very close. And I was communicating this to friends and family, and like people that saw him in person a couple of months later were like, I expected you to look so much worse based on what Peggy was saying about your condition. And I'm like, just because he was in incredible health ahead of time and like bounced back reasonably well does not mean that he didn't almost die multiple times from multiple different things. Like that doesn't, like, I don't know what you're expecting. But these things don't these things don't logically follow. It's very weird. What's fun is being round only in the middle and people mistaking you for pregnant. Oh yeah, that's super fun. People need to just not ever assume that unless they are specifically told. Like, just, it doesn't matter how pregnant a person looks. You should just not make assumptions about their body. Unless you're also going to assume that the 70-year-old guy with the exact same body shape is also pregnant. And then I guess, fine, you're just an idiot. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was all in 1 month, Ray. I'm glad he's here to potentially buy everyone Switch 2s with Pokopia. Yeah. If we win the lottery, sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was he had 3 surgeries in a row, uh, all within 1 month. Actually, within 2 weeks, and then was in the hospital for a couple of weeks recovering. And that was before the infection ate his spine, and then the the immune therapy agent gave him just a horrific colitis that had him hospitalized yet again. Yeah, it was a rough year. It was like a really brutal, it's a really brutal year. Yeah, Ray, the rigid belly. When I was a kid, when I was a kid, I used to call that a war belly because everyone I knew when I was a little kid who had that tummy was a war veteran, because of course they were, because they were all men of that age range, right? That they would have been in the war. It's just like hilarious. Yeah, belly. Sometimes you don't know, right? Like, things can be so predictable or so unpredictable, and it's amazing how close you can come to the edge, and then be like really miraculously recovered a fairly short time later. It's shocking. Um, if you're lucky enough to survive the horrible thing, sometimes you can recover really darn fast. So, oh, you thought it was like a war drum? Oh, that's cute. Yeah. That's a way cuter idea than my misconception. For me, it was totally just because I guess somehow I thought that, like, if you were in the war, somehow you got this dummy, not realizing that it was just like the way older men start to, store their body fat, especially if they drink a lot. In one lady's defense, she had kids and really wanted to relate to me, and I was holding Tupperware on my stomach like how pregnant people hold things. That's so legit, though. You know what? Why shelf-shaped, if not shelf? I have been known to hold Tupperware on my knockers when I'm just, like, sort of leaning back. I got, like, my snacks right here. Sometimes you just gotta. It's a shelf. Just use it. Whether it's your stomach or your boobs or whatever you got. Just, it's a shelf. Yeah, legit. She's the only one getting a pass. All right, y'all. We're done. We're done. We got cute nails. The mattification has occurred. I think it's good. I think it's good. I am pleased with it. I missed a spot with the mattification. Oh my god. I missed a spot. I missed a piece of the weave. The horror. But see, I wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't decided to hold it up for you. So it's good, actually. And I would have been looking at my freaking nails later on in my photos and being like, how the fuck did I miss that? It's called a rack for a reason. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's the weird like way people seem to think you were exaggerating just because the person is fine. And like the number of people in my life that literally were saying while he was on the brink of death with the surgeons saying his condition right now is incompatible with life. Literally one of the surgeons said that. Um and to be like talking to my family and have people being like, no, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's going to pull through. He's strong. He's going to be fine. And like, I'm like, look, I understand you're trying to be reassuring, but what it sounds like is that you're dismissing my fear. So then, like, a couple of months later for them, or a month or two later for them to be like, he looks great. What were you doing? I expected him to look so much worse. It's just like, yeah. Okay. So now you think I'm just fucking hysterical. Okay. It's fine. People. People need to learn to just not be dumbasses about these things. And that's all there is to that. What a cheery note to end our Pi Day stream on. The real end is that tomorrow I'm going to get some blueberries and I'm going to make a fucking pie. And I was going to do a basket weave top, but now I'm thinking I might actually just recreate my middle nail there. Unfortunately, I won't be able to take a photo of the two of them together because I have too much swatching to do. That would be cool though. Oh well. All right, y'all. Thank you all, as always, for coming and hanging out with me and with Budgie Smuggler. And if you're having pie for Pie Day, then I hope you enjoy it, even if it's a savory pie, which does count for Pie Day, including pizza pie and quiche, all of those good things. What do you mean use my other hand? For swatching? No, I'm not going to do that. Photoshop it? Yeah, maybe. That would be good. I'll take a photo now of me holding something that looks like it could be a piece of pie, and then later on actually hold the piece of pie and then Photoshop it in. Yeah, pizza counts for Pie Day. Always. Always. Pizza pie. It's called a fucking pizza pie. Of course it counts. Do the things, click the buttons, etc. Tell the friends about the hippopotamus. And also, Tuesday is going to be St. Patty's Day stream. I don't know what the design is going to be. Maybe I'll brainstorm some stuff. Maybe I'll learn how to speak English. Maybe I'll leave it up to stream entirely. Got suggestions? You can drop them in the Discord or in the comments, or I don't know, on Instagram, whatever. That's it. Good night, everybody.